I work really hard at trying to make sure that we have both recordings going, the video's going, the light's right, and the mic's working. Um, so I tell you that story only because it's all about the change for me. It won't change for you, but we're changing software to have more people be able to get more services, more cool stuff. We need to do that because we have this crazy freedom training that we're doing, the freedom training, and we need more horsepower to give you this technological boost so you get the full measure of all the information that we have. So let me get some of the things out of the way. First off, thank you for coming. My name's Jason Whitney with 3Believe. The reason why we're here is because we're passionate. We're passionate about two things. One, we're passionate about overcoming the symptoms of metabolic syndrome. We're passionate about helping people get rid of that darn thing. Metabolic syndrome is being overweight, not being able to lose weight like we used to do when we were younger, and we don't know why. So we think it's an age issue. It's not. It's not an age issue. It's a thing called metabolic syndrome. It's called hyperinsulinemia. It's called fatty liver, and that's what we deal with. We're unique because we deal with the cause of those problems and not treating the symptoms like medication does, like operations do, like most doctors treat. And so we do it differently. And but we don't stop with weight. We keep going with high cholesterol and high blood pressure and a fatty liver and elevated glucose levels, type 2 diabetes mainly, and not feeling well because we have bad or poor or weak digestive flora, or we have allergies, or we have low energy, we have low abilities to concentrate, things like that. Just everyday life that the world has told us is age related. Well, just live with it, because that's what you get when you're 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 years old. That's just the way it is. That's not the way it is. It's not the way we were made to be. It's just what we've become to believe by the media, by modern medicine, and it's just not the case. So we're here to tell everybody they're full of malarkey. And what do we have on our side? Well, we've got over 20,000. That's a 2, a 0, and 3 more zeros after that. 20,000 clinical studies proving that metabolic syndrome symptoms can be overcome and reversed and prevented for the rest of your life by following a macro balanced diet. You know, when I first got into this business, I'd tease people about, well, are you, does your program, is it a diet program? Because I don't like diets. And I go, well, you're on a diet right now. No, I'm not. I'm not on a diet. You are. Because the definition of a diet is everything you put in your mouth. Now, your diet might be soda pop and Cheeto Puffs, right? Or it might be a 6-pack of beer and T-bone steaks. Whatever you're eating, that's your diet. Diet is not identified by restricting your calories or eating grapefruit. It's anything you eat. And the same can be said about macro balancing. The food you're eating before you start 3Believe is a macro balanced diet. It's just an unhealthy one. It's an improper one for optimum health. What we're teaching you is the proper diet, macro balanced diet that your body was created to fit into, rather than the other way around. And so macro balancing is the secret. That's what the clinical study said. They said that we need to put the right amount of protein in our diet. That's macro balancing protein. We need the right amount of carbohydrates. That's macro balancing the amount of protein. And we need to macro balance our fats. And the study said the best form or version of fats is omega fats. macro balancing our fats in our diet. And where the confusion is, or where the dissension comes, is when people or programs try to go outside what clinical studies have identified as the healthiest macro balance of proteins, fats, and carbohydrates should be. Let me give you an example of that. I'm going to read a testimony I got. This is my eyes are really tired today, so I'm gonna get a little bit of help here with these glasses. I don't need them. I'm just gonna wear them because it makes me look studious and smart. All right, this was sent to me by Mr. Roger Ball. Thank you, sir. Which also has joined the Freedom Training. Good job. And accepted, I might add. He's on our group. So he said, I'm gonna work on blood sugar levels and diabetes. And this is why. He said, the reason I picked this topic is about 1.5 years ago, I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. I was first in denial because it doesn't run in my family. Now, I'm going to stop there and just talk about, he mentioned it does not run in my family. He was in denial when the doctor told him, you have type 2 diabetes. And he said, it didn't run in my family. Nobody else in my family has it. Now, is Mr. Roger, Mr. Rogers, sorry, just realized, does Mr. Ball here, did he just miss the day of class and just thought that diabetes can only happen in families where it runs in their family, where it's hereditary? Did he miss it? Is he not smart enough to know that? The fact is that Mr. Ball, Roger, didn't miss anything. This is what he was told by his doctors for generations. That's what his doctor was told. That's what he learned in school, not clinical studies. Just because they're a doctor doesn't mean that what they're taught is based on a clinical study. Very different. We'll talk about that another time. So it wasn't Roger's fault that he thought or was in denial that he couldn't have type 2 diabetes because it wasn't a family-related issue. But that's what he's been taught. That's the conventional wisdom. And it's just not true. It's full of malarkey. So I continue. That's why I stopped on that part. Did you get my point? Type 2 diabetes does not run in the family, ladies and gentlemen. It doesn't. That's false. False doctrine. I continue. I first talked to a dietitian at the local hospital, and she told me I had to eat 3 meals plus at least 3 snacks a day. Okay? She was not unique from other dietitians. I mean, for heaven's sakes, if she's employed by the hospital, if she works at a hospital, she's a registered dietitian. She's got some schooling behind her. For heaven's sake, she knows what she's talking about, right? So he had to eat 3 meals plus 3 snacks a day. I followed her instruction, and within 2 months, not only did my insulin numbers not go down, but I gained 12 pounds. Well, thank you very much, dietitian. Now, why do I stop here? I hope not to offend any of you that might have been trained as a dietary or as a dietary dietitian, or you know someone that's a dietitian, and they may be certified. They may be a registered dietitian. Here is the facts. Now, it's not my opinion. I'm just repeating the facts. Is that the curriculum that dietitians learn from, what they're taught, and it's really not even their fault. Don't blame the dietitian, because someone taught them, someone is their mentor. That data is about 40 years old. It just excludes much of the current clinical research that we know. And this is perfect evidence of it. Did she set out waking up that morning that she met with Roger and said, I'm going to tell somebody some crazy news and get the man to gain 12 pounds because that's what he needs. No, she didn't do that. That wasn't her intent. For heaven's sake, she went into that profession because people that go into the profession of the health or serving the public in the realms of health is because they want to help people. It's not her fault that the information, much of, not all, but much of the information they're taught is wrong because it's outdated. It's not updated. It's not current. It's not in line with what we have learned our bodies really to react. And here's a perfect example of it. Does that mean that we throw everything out the window from medicine? No, not at all. It's just that in this case you throw it out. And I bet Roger wish he threw out 12 pounds of it. I found out about a special diet program that I could go on, and it was guaranteed that I would be able to get off all medications for diabetes. Not this program, but that cost $9,500. Ouch, I could not afford this, even though my wife was willing to sell her car. Okay, if that's not love, I don't know what it is. If that's not sacrifice, you gotta bless that woman's heart. Right. I then chose to do some chelation treatment. Now, chelation, for those of out there, is a special type of forming of minerals. It is a higher grade. It's good. Chelation's good. You want chelated minerals. Not every company that does chelation does it correctly, but the concept and the science behind chelation is excellent. You want that. Chelation treatment for mineral or for diabetes was rather expensive, and it did not change my numbers. Then I heard about 3Believe from Merv Hague. We all think I know that guy, who I've known for about 20 years, and a nice fellow, by the way. So here I am. I've been on 3Believe for about 2.5 months. My numbers have come down, but they're still fluctuating a little bit. So what I did was I reached out to Mr. Roger and I said, if they're fluctuating, then let me help you with that. Because they should not fluctuate at all. They have improved, but they haven't solved the problem. So what I'm going to do with Mr. Ball's permission, and I'll get that, I'm coming up with this off the cuff. This is unplanned. Is that we're going to follow his numbers. I'm really putting my feet to the fire, and Roger, I'm putting yours to the fire too. You got to follow what I ask you to do, and you will get off your medication. You will no longer have the symptoms of type 2 diabetes. Why? Because the clinical studies say so, and because I have worked with hundreds of diabetics. And, well, I can't say that they're cured. I won't say that they're cured. I can say that they don't take the medication anymore. And they don't have the symptoms anymore of elevated glucose levels. So I won't say that they're cured. And I'm asking you not to say it either. But I will say that they don't have the symptoms anymore. And that'll do just fine. Thank you. So I wanted to read that testimony. Why? Not because he talked about how awesome our program was. He just started it and he's had some success. But to show you that there's so many other programs out there that are very expensive, that promise people hope and deliver little. It was weighed and it was measured and it came up wanting. It was insufficient. And so is there an audience that want to hear what we have? Absolutely. And so those of you that want to follow our man, Mr. Ball, on his progress, then that would be a great thing for you to tune in and keep listening. So that's provided that Mr. Ball will let me mention that information. So thank you for that testimony, Roger. I want to go on and talk about, we're not going to talk a lot about the Freedom training. I'm going to go back to talking about some of the ingredients in our magical meal replacement CMR. Complete Meal Replacement is what CMR stands for. And why it's so awesome. Why did I put some of the stuff in there that I did? I'm going to explain one of the ingredients today. So I want to talk about who has so far. Now, I told you that the deadline was on the 10th. And I know that some have had some computer problems, and I've extended it. So if those of you, and you know who you are, still send in the rest of your stuff. But so far we've got about we've got about 30 people. So that's awesome. That's a good group. Let me read the most recent ones that have been accepted. So if you're listening, congratulations. If you're not on the list and you've sent in your stuff, and that means we've missed you. So don't give up. Reach out and make sure we got your info. Merv Haig, Dale Reed, Julie Spencer, Gwen Green, John McLaughlin, Faven Sletton, Michael Bergen, and please forgive me if I misenunciate your names, Renee Watson, Steve Marvin, not to be confused with Steve Martin, John Simpson, James Donovan, Bud Schwindit, Marion Thompson, Robert Price, Ronald Kiewit. I apologize. I think I pronounced your name wrong last time. I believe I've been taught that it is Kiewit. Aiden Perdoza, Betsy Mead, Gary Sneebel, Roger Ball, and Doug Young, and Carrie Scott. That's the ones on the list thus far. So if your name wasn't read and you know you've done it, or you go ahead and send it in. We'll still accept them. I have not announced the day of the first training. We'll announce it. It will be on a different day than Thursday, and it will be on a different webinar. So we'll explain to you where that's at and how you get all that information. I do want you, and I'll give you more information. So one of the reasons why I asked you if you had a computer, if you had access to it, some of the courses you're going to want the computer, because you're going to want to look at the screen to see what we're doing. And so it's going to just be easier to do it not on your phone, but on your computer screen. Now you can still do it on a phone. You can watch a webinar on your phone. I recommend that you make sure your phone is connected to a Wi-Fi so that you're not getting all those online minutes on your phone, because it'll run out fast. Okay? And we'll teach you more about how to do all that stuff. If any of you are worried about, man, I'm just not computer savvy, don't worry. Do not worry. I promise you, with what we're going to teach you how to be a online marketing master. Now, what my definition of master is, you'll know what to do. You'll be able to reach thousands and thousands of people, and you will be able to make large sums of money. That's my definition of a master. You'll be able to do that even if I took you out of the outback in Australia. You've never seen a computer before, or a smartphone, or a camera, and I will walk you through the right buttons to push and how to do it. So don't worry about that. We're going to walk you through it. You will know how to do all of it. And it'll all be tutorials that will be recorded on video so that you can go back and study it. This is going to be unlike anything you've ever seen before, ever. No one has ever done what we're doing. People have taught how to market online. Most people have taught information that's outdated or simply doesn't work. They talk about it, but they've never actually done it themselves, which is why we're going to take some individuals. By the way, I'm going to tell you right now that everybody that has joined the Freedom Train training, you have also offered yourself to be an example. That's one of the requirements I put in your congratulatory letter, is that you have to let me use you as an example. Why? Because that's a fantastic marketing tool for your entire downline. You'll be able to say, look at me. Look, I didn't know anything, and I had no money online, and now I'm doing $50 billion. Okay, maybe not 50 billion, But look, I went from 0 to this many followers, this many views, this many engagements, and I'll teach you what all that means later, and this much money. What a perfect example. I mean, talk about proof in the pudding. And we'll use you. We won't use somebody else. We'll use you. So stick in there. That's just golden. We'll have all that for you. We'll record it for you. We'll wrap it all nice, and we'll show you how to monetize that. Monetize just simply means turn it into money. That's what it means. So no one has ever done that type of stuff before. So this is what you're in for. This is what you're going to get. This is magic. Okay. I want to introduce you to Callie. Come on over here. So Callie is going to be one of our trainers on the Freedom Train training. And so she's now, I really risked having you on screen with me, because any of you that are watching, you can obviously see that you would much rather look at her than look at me. So don't
Amen.
Yeah, don't start asking for her to be seen instead of me, because you just got to see me sometimes. All right, I'm just the way it is. Look the other way if it bothers you. So, but the reason why Callie is going to be with us on our training is because she's going to be doing a lot of the training, and she's going to be using her page. So we've set up a page for Callie that's brand new, fresh, new. So you'll be able to see her as an example of starting from scratch, starting from nothing, and boost and turn her into a superstar.
Well, that's the plan.
Yeah, that's the plan. And then right along with that, you'll be seeing your own numbers. You'll be doing the same thing. And this is just going to be...
It's exciting.
Yeah, this is going to be
excited.
This is going to be a big deal. And so Callie will go through, and so kind of just so you know our relationship on these webinars is I'll do an overview. I'll kind of tell you this is what our plan is. This is what we're designing this for. So you can, it's like we go into a meeting. I'll say, all right, this is where we're headed, is our final destination. And then Callie will go through and tell you, all right, this is how we actually do it. This is not, let me tell you what this course will not be. This will not be us telling you about cool things that were done, how much money this person made. They posted it, and they monetized it, and they boosted it. And what are some other acronyms, phrases? You went in and you...
How many people shared?
Yeah, you shared, and then you posted, and then they went into your funnel. They start using these words, and they sound good, and it's a great story, but you don't know what they're talking about, right? Mm-hmm. It's like me telling you where the best apples are, and I say, well, it's just down in the valley over on the next hill. Well, there's lots of valleys. You're not going to find where those apples are. We're going to show you exactly what to do. So what our training isn't is we're not going to be broad strokes. I will do the broad stroke, and I'll tell you where you'll end up and why we're doing it. Well, I'll tell you the psychology of why we're doing the certain things we're doing. That part is my job. Callie's job is she's the meat and potatoes.
Fine tuning.
Yep.
Push a button here, and you'll get this result.
Flip this switch, turn that light on, don't do this. That's what her job is. And you'll follow those little techniques, and it'll just explode. So that's what you're going to get. That's one of the main functions that's entirely different than any other training program that you've had and been on, or seen, or heard about. I'm getting excited just talking about it, and I haven't even told you any stuff. So that's what the training is. Okay. Anything else that you want to talk about? Oh, let me show you. Let me just share what this is some of the curriculum, right? That we'll be going over, not to cover up Callie's beautiful face there. Look at this material. Don't be intimidated by this. For those of you that are not seeing this, we got like what, 3 other books?
Well,
So it's going to be twice as big as this. Yeah. We have all this material that we're creating that is step-by-step process, okay, that you'll have. So those of you that are not on the webinar, okay, I'm holding up books. What is that? Where's my...
Like 4 inches.
Oh, here. I got a measuring. That's 4 inches, 3 7/8 inches thick of material. That's a phone book of Los Angeles. They don't even have phone books anymore.
You're dating yourself.
Yeah, I'm dating myself. All right. And we have 3 more of those. So that's what we have for you. This is powerful stuff. Be excited. Don't be intimidated. Some of you might be saying, well, how long will it take? Well, it's going to take a while for you to know everything. Mm-hmm. Because I want you to understand that, how would you describe how big marketing on the internet is? This is what I tell people. Marketing on the internet is like you telling someone that you're going shopping. Where?
How long am I going to be
doing
this?
What am I buying? Am I buying missiles or am I buying moccasins, right? Am I spending a $10,000 or am I spending 52 cents, right? Mm-hmm. Marketing on, how would you explain, what we're doing versus people just saying marketing on the internet?
Well, we're giving them step-by-step process, which it's not broad. Just go to the internet, find your information. Maybe you'll see something that's interesting. Yeah. That's not what we're doing.
And the internet the internet's a lot of stuff. Meaning, you've got, if you narrow that down a little bit, you have what's called social media.
Right.
How big is social media? Tell me, how many subgroups are there in social media?
Well,
yeah.
It's just. There's 5 that I could.
Well, you got Facebook. Okay, then you got LinkedIn, you got YouTube, you got Instagram and Snapchat, Twitter and Snapchat.
And then there's subgroups too.
Then you got blogs. Okay, right. That's why what we're talking about is we will steer you in the direction that studies have shown to be the most effective. Now, all of them can be effective, but we got to get that low-hanging fruit first. Now, when I respectfully refer fruit to people that want 2 things, because what I want you to focus on is, who will we be marketing to? Mm-hmm. 2 basic groups. People that want to be healthier. People that want to have the symptoms of metabolic syndrome erased from their life. That's one group. And the other group is people that want to make money online. Do you realize, those of you that received the letter, I went into a little bit more in depth, but I haven't had anybody say anything about it. So I'm thinking that it went right over your head, or right by your ear, or underneath your chair. Whatever metaphor grabs you, what I said in there is our program, our Freedom Train, will be available in our next group, not in this group, available to people that are not currently in 3Believe. They could actually join part of our training and not be signed up as either a retail customer, an affiliate member, or a sales representative at 3Believe. What? What does that mean? Why is that important to you? Let me tell you why that's important. Because there's millions and millions and millions and millions of people that want to make money on the internet, and they don't have a clue. Why? Because I just explained to you how big the internet is. They don't know where to go and who to trust and where to focus on. They don't know where the low-hanging fruit is. Which one's better? Is it YouTube or is it Snapchat? And I don't even know how to work Snapchat. I don't even know where do I go to find that out? And how do you even work it so that you turn it into money?
I don't know if you can.
Okay.
Ugh.
So what I'm saying is where was I headed with that?
Oh my goodness, the social aspect.
What I'm talking about is we'll show you how to use all of those tools for the low-hanging fruit for both groups. Why allowing people that are not in 3Believe as a sales rep to join our training is because what we provided for you and your business is we just open up an entirely different demographic of business for you. So you have all the people over here that want to be healthy, right? With 3Believe. Mm-hmm. Then you got all these people over here that want a home-based business to make money. Well, these people, some of them, they don't care about being healthy. And some of those people that want to be healthy don't care about making money online. But what if we had both groups? Remember the story I told you about some of you, that this guy, one of our mentors, he started out in this little newest division, we'll just call it funnel marketing for now. He started out 2 years ago, nothing in this realm, nothing. Do you know how much he makes every month now off of funnel marketing, the stuff that we've learned that we're teaching you? $3.3 million a month. $3.3 million a month. Okay? Who is that demographic? People that want to make money online in their home. They don't want a shipping department. They don't have an office. They don't have employees. They're just doing it on their own. How successful has he been? In 2 years, they have 100 millionaires. Wow. And last month alone, they added 11. In 1 month, 11. That's what we're going to be teaching you. So what does that mean? You now have a business, online business, within 3Believe that teaches people how to overcome metabolic syndrome, right? What a great thing to share, and you can make money from it, a lot of it. And you now have also how to make money online through the tactics of the internet online marketing that we're providing you. That's in your business portfolio too. Did we just broaden the net? Yes, by teaching the same thing. That's powerful. That's powerful. But they won't get it for free. How much are they going to pay? They're going to pay $300. So when they sign on, when you tell someone, we will teach you content. This content, I'm not exaggerating at all. This content that we're going to be teaching you is stuff that is worth and sold for over $100,000. If you add it all up, for $100,000. Now that's not the inflated price. When they inflate the price, it's usually about 8 or 10 times more. They say it's worth this, but they'll give it to you for that. I'm telling you the lower price that's actually being sold at $100,000. They can get it for $300 a month. $300. Or they can sign up like you as a sales rep and get it for $300 and get the training for free because you get 84 meals a month for that. Now, you guys in this first group, I already told you, don't panic. You can sign up and be in phase 1 or phase 4. But all the other people that sign up in the group 2, they got to, and beyond, they have to be at least a phase 1. Mm-hmm. Because we just got to have, that's just
the value.
Yeah, the value. We have to do it.
Yeah.
So, do you think that a lot of those people that signed up as wanting just the internet marketing information are gonna sign up as 3Believe reps too? Who wouldn't? If the guy's explaining it to his wife, saying, "Yeah, I signed up for this thing for $300. It's gonna be awesome. They're gonna show us the things that we've been fumbling around with." And she says, "Well, who's there? Who's all the people that's there?" Well, there's other people that are in this 3Believe thing, and they're getting the training for free. What? Why don't you get it for free? Well, we could get it for free, but we'd have to sign up $300 a month, and we'd get all this food that's really healthy and overcomes metabolic syndrome. And she's going to say, wait a minute. You can get food for $300 and get the training for free, or you can just pay for the training and get no food. Honey, sign up and let's get healthy too, right? I mean, it's beautiful. And guess what? The same commission that we pay on 3Believe for the foods is the same commission you'll get for people that sign up as the business. Same. How wonderful! This is this is cool stuff. So I'm excited about that. All right.
Right. You going to talk about more about products?
Yep, I'm done.
Ingredients.
Okay. Thank you for coming. Say goodbye to Callie, everybody. You'll see more of her in the future lessons. All right. So we're going to talk about turmeric. Everybody has heard that turmeric is a powerful ingredient. Turmeric, the benefit of turmeric is an ingredient, an active ingredient that makes turmeric so cool and powerful is called curcumin. But like a lot of ingredients in foods, we don't get a lot of it. And most of the products that are sold online or in stores, they advertise the turmeric, but they have very little, or they only have part of the active ingredient. And turmeric and curcumin is no different. Now, what's important that you need to know is that there's, just to keep it simple, we're going to call it C3. C, and there's 3 components. If you don't have all 3 components of the turmeric or of the curcumin, then it's not very effective at all. It's, in some cases, if it only has one, you're not getting any of the benefits. So you have to have all 3 of the compounds that's in there, and we call that C3 in the industry. Not just us, but that's in the industry of biochemistry and food sciences. It's known as the C3 complex. And there's only one formula that has a patent that has the highest dose, the highest concentration of the C3 complex in the world. They're the only ones. And guess which one we put into this right here? Every one of your shakes, we buy that formula. We didn't invent it, we didn't create it, but that's what we get and buy. And it's expensive. It's more expensive than anybody else's, but it works. That's why I get it for you. So I want to sell you on the fact of why it's so powerful and why you want to continue to take it in your shakes. First thing that it's benefiting, and all these are based on clinical studies, the ones I'm telling you. Turmeric does a lot of cool things, but not all of them are based on human studies. Some of them are on just tradition and observance. It doesn't mean that they're not beneficial. It just means that it wasn't established by clinical study. I'm only gonna talk about the ones that have been proven by clinical studies. Okay, kidney health. Now, kidney disease is a serious deal, right? And in this study, I'm gonna go through these quickly because look at all this material I have. Lots. I mean, there's what? How many pages? There's like 30 pages here. I mean, it's just page after page of study. Right, so this is I'm just going to go through it quick. Kidney health and kidney failure. So they've shown that this formula, the one that we're buying, not turmeric overall, this particular one that you're drinking today and tomorrow and every day after for the rest of your life, hopefully, has been found to greatly reduce kidney failure, not eliminate. Okay, that study hasn't been done yet, but it says that it was observed that this formula brought about significant inhibiting of the progression of renal failure. That's a big deal in just 8 weeks. Imagine what it'll do for 8 months or 8 years. Holy cow, that's powerful. Then it goes on to eye health and cataracts. What they did is they took some rats. Now, I know that a lot of people get upset about testing animals, but it is beneficial for us. How would we know some of this stuff otherwise? But they took some rats and they gave the rat, or they removed the retinas of the rats, and they had them in 2 batches, and they know what causes cataracts, and they gave the dose to both of them. Only one of the rats had the dose of the C3 complex, and that batch is the only one that didn't have cataracts formation. Wow, that's pretty cool. Okay. And we've got a license now from this company to sell it in capsuled form. So we're going to start providing that soon in capsules so you can get an extra dose for some of the issues I'm going to be talking about. Diabetes. It's found that this study found that it significantly reduces free radicals in the formation of what they call cross-linking of collagen in diabetes. So it's been extremely effective in that. So that's one reason why if someone has the symptoms of diabetes, we're going to provide that as an extra boost to get them off of it. In general terms, C3 is great for the skin, the heart, the liver, and the lungs. Those 4 organs are the ones that C3 seems to work the best on. Skin, heart, skin, which is your largest organ in your body. But it also affects, it's an antibacterial, anti-inflammatory, anti-tumor. I'm going to read some studies about that. Anti-allergic, and antioxidants, an antiseptic, a appetizer reducer. It can curb your appetite, lessen the appetite, improves cardiovascular, digestive, and natural non-crashing stimulant. And it helps speed up the healing of wounds, open cuts. Here's some more information on it's a protective for liver disease against cancer cells and cysts. So this one in particular found, even though you're in a high iron, iron if you have liver damage is bad. It will negate the negative properties of too much iron for hepatitis and things like that. Another one showed that it even subjecting the liver with salmonella, this formula killed off 80% of all the salmonella bacterial cells. Cool. Let's see, we'll go into some more here. This is some pretty high tech or high science stuff, so I'll just break it down for you. What it means is that glutathione is the world's most powerful antioxidant. Okay? Now, in a world of antioxidants, we all know that those are good things. Glutathione is kind of like the size of the sun and Pluto. Okay? I'm not exaggerating. Nothing is more powerful by many, many, many times than glutathione. And this shows that, but our body has a real hard time absorbing glutathione. That's strange, but it's really hard for us to get it into our system. This formula enhances the absorption and your body's ability to use glutathione by a factor of 4 times. Let me read that right. No, 450 times. Wow, that's amazing. This one showed what they did is they took these rats and they actually subjected the rats to high doses of ethanol and ethanol toxicity. Okay, that's bad, for 30 days, and then took them out and gave them the dose of this C3 complex. After 30 days of giving them the dose, they had no toxicity. The other group still had it. They had over 90% of the ethanol toxicity that was there 30 days ago, only less reduced by less than 10%. In the group that they used our formula of turmeric, gone. Pretty powerful. It's been found to be an anti-cancer and anti-tumor inhibitor, not only reducing the growth, and in some cases for certain types of tumors and cancers and cysts, eliminating them. Let me list what some of them are: colon cancer, skin cancer, breast cancer, and some of them in tumors of the breast, reducing or inhibiting cell growth by 97%. Are you kidding me? This is amazing. Leukemia by 53% cells. Some pretty impressive test results. And then they go through oral cancers, stomach cancers, people that are suffering from chemotherapy. And now chemotherapy, as you know, is kind of a shotgun approach. If they treat you with chemotherapy, it kills good cells and bad cells. It actually makes the chemotherapy work more effective on the cancerous cells. It just zooms up the power, which is what you want. That's great. An anti-inflammatory. So it enhances, let me read this chart here, by 40%. It reduces inflammation of all four eicosanoids. An eicosanoid is it's an inflammational activity in the cells, but eicosanoids happen inside the cell. All other activity for inflammation happens outside the cell. It's exterior tissue or exterior of the cell, where eicosanoids happen inside the cell. And it's a precursor, and the reason why you want to be taking the right dose of the omega oils. Omega-6 increases the inflammatory action in your body if you're getting too much of it. That's why it's good, omega-6, but you can't have too much of it, or you got too much inflammation and you're always sore and painful and your joints are sore. So if you take more omega-3 and balance that out, again, macro balancing, you got to know what that is. You got to know what the right dose is. That's why you take our oil. So if you can't take anybody's oil because they give you the wrong dose. So the omega oils help balance out those eicosanoids, and our form of turmeric actually reduces the inflammation even more. So you got a 1-2 punch there, and you didn't even know it. So that's just one more ingredient. If you looked at the label on the back, we've got 80 of them. It's more complex than any other meal replacement product on earth. And you have it. You have it in your cupboard. And if you don't, you need to. And if you have loved ones that have all those symptoms that I talked about, they should be taking this. What a great preventative action against these things. Does it mean that they're going to cure them of cancer? Well, we don't want to say that to them, right? That would be irresponsible. But it's going to give them a better edge. It's going to give them a better bet. But I've been taking it because I know all of these ingredients have been proven to make me healthier. And I feel better. I feel awesome, right? So, I don't know what that sound was. But there is the today's program. I appreciate your comments, your emails, your faith, your testimonies. I appreciate your activity, especially those that have joined the Freedom Train. And I promise you that we will be even more diligent in you helping us, and let's just say helping me achieve one of my dreams. My passion really in life, and that is to I think I've told you that I want to help people overcome metabolic syndrome. I don't know if I've told you this, but I'm going to make it public so that it makes it more real. My goal is to make it more detailed. Right now, the symptoms of metabolic syndrome in the United States is at epidemic levels, meaning that more people are getting it, more people are contracting it than are getting off of it, that are being relieved from it. And that's not okay. That's what identifies an epidemic. The growth is faster than the reduction. My goal is to ask you to help me to turn metabolic syndrome around and no longer be considered an epidemic. We could do it. Studies have proven, I've proven it with our clinics and working with doctors, people I've worked with my individually, that if we got everybody in the United States on the 3Believe protocol today, we would overcome, because this is what the clinical studies say, we would overcome the symptoms of metabolic syndrome in 18 weeks. If they followed it, 18 weeks, we would no longer have metabolic syndrome in the United States. That's amazing. You know the lives that we would save, the national expense and healthcare that would be turned around. I mean, the implications are tremendous. The memories that would be preserved and built, and it's inspiring. My other goal is to get people out of financial struggles. My goal is not to have you be a millionaire. Sorry. You can be if you want, and this will be a great tool for you to do it. But my goal is for 100,000 people to be making $10,000 a month. And they need your help to do it. I can't do it by yourself. That's my passion. That's what I'm asking for. I'm asking you to join me. Be one of those people that, one, overcomes any of the symptoms of metabolic syndrome. And everybody in your circle, everybody that you know, have them eradicated. Get rid of metabolic syndrome in your demographic, in your circle of friends, the people that you love. You could do that. You have that influence. Don't worry about Nebraska or California. Worry about the people that are in your circle of influence. Then let them worry about their circle of influence. We can do this. In our lifetime, we can do this. And then, can you imagine you having the people in your circle of influence all making $10,000 a month? Imagine the contributions. How much they'd be donating to charity, and how much more free time they'd have with their family, less stress. It'd be a powerful thing. Pretty great. So that's my mission. That's my goal. I thank you for helping in any way that you are in helping that come true. The merriest of Christmas to all of you. I know that's not politically correct, but sorry. I believe in Christmas and the celebration of our Savior and the birth of Him, even though it's not he really wasn't born at this time of year. It's a good time to celebrate it. So Merry Christmas. I love you. I care about you. Callie and I have dedicated our lives to serving you. So thank you for letting us do that. And maybe you could do that too for the people that you love. I'm going to check off here the speaker and see if anyone has any quick questions. Merv, are you out there?
I'm here.
Did you fall asleep?
We going to have a call next week? Going to have a call next week?
Oh,
Hang on. What is it next week?
It's it.
It's
Are we having a call say next week?
Of course we are. That's still several days away from Christmas.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Good call. A lot of good stuff. Man, that was powerful.
Any questions out there? Any of the people out there want me to answer any questions?
Yeah, Jason.
Yes, sir.
You said there was a new product you're coming out with that supposed to cut out the inflammation and stuff, and you say you and Callie has been taking it to help your mood and various other things. Is that going to be coming out shortly?
Yes, that'll come out before the turmeric edition. I am waiting on the final draft of the label. You know me, I'm kind of a control freak. Just joking. But it's got to look right. I got to read it and make sure that all the ingredients are right from the printing department, and that'll come off. What that product is the ashwagandha. And another word, there's a little bit of a debate in the office of what we're going to call it. I want to call it, yeah, I want to call it one thing, and I got other people want to call it something else. So, matter of fact, why don't I throw this out there? All right, everybody, listen up. Ashwagandha, what it does is it helps with mood. It helps with focusing your cognitive, so your concentration. It helps with inflammation. It helps with helping your cells get energy. It won't give you energy directly because of this, but it helps the energy that you already have be more refined. Your recovery from working out at the gym or any exercise happens faster. That's what ashwagandha can do. And so, what name would you like it to be? My staff hates it when I do this. Throw in the names, right? It's got to be simple. It can't be too long, but it's got to be descriptive. If we pick your name, I will give you a 6-month supply for free. Wow.
What?
See, they hate it when I do this stuff. So 6 months for free if you submit the name and we pick your name. Okay. So go to submit the name to support@3believe.com. The number 3, believe, just like it's normally spelled, .com. And if we pick your name, you get a 6-month supply of the ashwagandha. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get my name picked because I want stuff for free. So, any other questions? Good question, Bob. Go ahead.
When you say the name of the product, are you talking about like 1 or 2 words, or can it be like a little phrase?
Well, if you do a phrase, so when you're marketing a product, let's see if I can grab one. Okay, here's some Listerine. Okay, so here is Listerine, right? Is the product, right? And underneath it has total care. That's called a subtopic or a sub-product name. If you can submit both. So submit name what we're going to name the product, and if you want to do a subline that can be a couple of more words, then do that too. And if we use any part of either or, the name or the subname, then you qualify. I just now just gave you it's possible. Somebody could get the subline, someone else get the name, product name, so 2 people could actually get a 6-month supply for free. I know. They're looking at me like, Jason's at it again. He's crazy. All right. Any other questions?
Do we need a little review about the words you just said? Like, it helps people think, it helps their mood, give us a little bit of that again so we can kind of know which way to go.
This is what you get for doing this on the fly.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good question. All right, what I'm going to do is okay, there's some people that we may not have your email in our email. So any of you that want to chime into this, send in an email. Okay, say, hey, I want to be part of the ashwagandha product contest or something. Here's my email. We'll put your name on the list, and I will email you all the things that it does. So that way you'll have all the information you need to know, kind of give you a hint, right? And then you can use that as your guide to coming up in the name. Would that help?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do that. So I just want to make sure if you've received an email from us before, then we have your list. But if you haven't got one from us, then make sure you email it to us. But if you don't get an email from us telling you what ashwagandha does, then that means we don't have your email and you need to let us know what it is. Okay.
Okay, good.
All right,
That's good.
One more question.
I'm going to jump in there again, Jason. New products coming out. Are you going to kind of put something out or post something out of maybe a schedule of when you plan on some of these new products coming out?
That is a great idea. We do have one internally. I don't see anything wrong with making it public. So, good idea. Write that down if you would. Bob, great idea. We'll do that in an email, yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Good.
All right.
Good.
Great call. Great having you here. I appreciate you. I got it. You inspire me. You really do. some of the things that you guys said, being freedom, it gave me goosebumps and brought a few tears to my eyes, honestly, with some of them.
I'm excited.
So thank you, all of you. You keep me going. Thanks to you. So good night. Merry Christmas. Be careful.
Thank you.
And take care.
Merry Christmas.
God bless.
God bless you all.
Good night, Dave.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.